Welcome back, race fans. Tonight, round number 5 of the Harpoon Design Sim Racing Unleashed Cup Series, Season 14 of the top 16 here at the very wide superspeedway track of Talladega. And I'm already looking at the pre-race analytics. Myself, Joshua Medlock, with Will Roberts. And Will, we could talk a whole lot about Talladega. We all know it's a crapshoot. Anybody can win it. Of course, you still have to be careful. And with no fast repairs, the damage you can take at this track, it's probably going to end your night. How you doing, Will?
Doing fairly decent this morning, Josh. This afternoon, evening. Yes, it is totally morning. Uh, well, it is in some places around the world. But anyway, yes, Joshua, Talladega. It is a place where if you get caught up in just sometimes the slightest of wrecks, it can end your night because you're going so fast. You know, the speeds you're carrying around here, 195 to 200, maybe sometimes just over that 200 mile per hour barrier. You know, you arrive at the scene of the crime, so fast that you can't really not go past the scene without leaving a mark. So, uh, yeah, 100 laps tonight. That's going to be a challenge. Win and of itself. It's just over the halfway mark. So, yeah, that's good distance here tonight,
Yeah.
Joshua. Is what I'm trying to get.
Oh, yeah, very good distance. I've got the pre-race analytics pulled up here. It's 266 miles. Like you alluded to, 100 laps. Air temp of 76. It's that track temp right now that I'm worried about, 124 degrees.
Oh
Boy,
goodness.
that is... that makes it treacherous out there. That could play a huge factor in tonight's race. We'll see exactly. I think the biggest factor, tires really ain't a huge factor unless you get a long green flag run and then maybe a late race caution. I think you'll see guys just take 2 tires, and maybe even if they stay green and they have to pit, splash and go in a set of right sides. I don't think, 4 tires is necessary here at Talladega. We'll see what
Even
happens.
Even sometimes you'll see just gas only
Yep.
pit stops, like you talked about, just getting splashes. Tires here at Daytona, Talladega, not really a big factor, like you alluded to. Maybe more right side tire changes than anything tonight.
Yeah, and we could see that. Now it is 75% fuel, 4 sets of tires. We already alluded to on the tires. 20 to 25 laps roughly on a tank of fuel, so they can't even make it to the stage. So if it goes green, they will have to come down pit road at least once for some fuel to go the distance. 55 mile an hour pit road speed. Talk about it every week, and especially here at Talladega, it's going to be no different. That's a make it or break it for a driver. You get caught speeding down pit road under green. You get into an accident on pit road under green, it could be your night. And then hopefully, in a sense of your situation, you get that yellow flag and get back on the lead lap with a pace speed of 70 here tonight. Taking a look at the point standings coming in to round number 5. Mark Whitley is up at the top at 32.03. Kyle Heath in second at 31.19. 112 behind Mark Whitley. Brandon Sheets in third at 31.60. 43 behind the leader and 31 behind Kyle. Chris Path in that 4th position at 31.55, 48 behind the leader and 5 behind Brandon. Jeff Gilmore in 5th at 31.25, 78 behind the leader and 30 behind Chris. So the top 5 did not move. Robbie Stewart up 2 spots into 6th at 31.13, 90 behind the leader and 12 behind Jeff. Jason Adams going to stay where he's at in 7th at 31.09. 94 behind the leader and 4 behind Robbie. Zach Deutscher up 2 spots into 8th at 31.07. 96 behind the leader and 2 behind Jason. Gary Slapinski, same where he's at ninth at 31.04, 99 behind the leader and 3 behind Zach. Philip Bridgman cracking the top 10 and 10 at 30.91, 112 behind the leader and 13 behind Gary. Jim Coleman-Spurger down 5 spots into 11th at 30.84, 119 behind the leader and 7 behind Philip. Keith Hurlbut up a spot into 12th at 30.78, 125 behind the leader and 6 behind Jim. Kevin Roy up a spot into 13th at 30.60, 143 behind the leader and 18 behind Keith. Robbie Darnell down 2 into 14th at 30.51, 152 behind the leader, 9 behind Kevin. Hunter Hayward is going to stay right there in 15th at 29.97, 206 behind the leader. 54 behind Robbie, and Clifton Ashley in 16th at 29.95, 208 behind the leader and 2 behind Hunter. So tonight we could definitely will see some changes in the point standings after the race here tonight, but we're going to step aside here real quick and play the national anthem provided by Madison Rising, folks. So hang tight. Qualifying will be underway here when we come back.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran fast, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the free, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight to invade the name of the brave. We are the U.S. of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the U.S. of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxspeedTV.
Alrighty, folks, we are back. Qualifying is underway here tonight. Of course, that start-finish line will all the way through the tri-oval, so they, have to, manage to pretty much go all the way around the track, plus about 500 feet before they can even, possibly even win here tonight or grab the stage. So, we've already seen action at Talladega before, and you think somebody has it coming into the tri-oval, then you realize they're not quite there yet.
Yeah, this track, ever since its inception, just about has had great finishes. The inaugural race here ran by. There was only an actual few cup cars in the field. The two cars that actually dominated the race were two Daytona Dodge Chargers, and they were just fast all day, lights out. They led the field completely all day, and it actually was a close finish between the two cars. And throughout the years, Talladega just produces just close finishes.
Yeah.
Just last week we saw Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, even though Kevin Harvick got DQ'd. But Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick. It seems like every race Ryan Blaney wins at Talladega. It is a splitter, a bumper, a fender, finish.
Oh yeah.
And those are some of the greatest finishes, ever in racing. Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Murray had a close finish here. Darrell Waltrip and Ron Bouchard, I think, maybe. No. I'll think of his name later. But anyway, That was his only career win that came here at Talladega. Some drivers have only gotten their only career win here at Talladega. Phil Parsons, for instance.
Yep. All right, the final 3 seconds here, and it looks like Gary Slapinski grabbing the pole to start things off here tonight. Let's go ahead and get him down here. Gary, well, you know it, I know it, everybody else knows it. It's a crapshoot, brother. Anybody can bring it home here tonight. How you feeling here, man? And what are you thinking about 100 laps, buddy? And you are muted. If he's even there, we'll give him a minute to get in here, folks.
Yeah, sometimes after qualifying, you try to dart to get a bottle of water or something you may have forgotten,
Yeah, definitely so. Well, while we wait on Gary, we're going to go ahead and grid him up here tonight. Gary Slapinski grabbing the pole out here with a 53-163. Congratulations again to Gary on pole. Mark Whitley, his teammate's going to be on the outside of him in second. So great start already by the Harpoon Design Racing team. Robbie Darnell third, Cal Heath in fourth. There he is. Gary, you're starting up top with your teammate here tonight, buddy. Go ahead and talk about it.
Oh, it's great. I'm pretty good. I had everyone use a little, how to use the men's room real quick to start this 100 laps here.
Yeah, it's
Talladega.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot, man. It's anybody's race here tonight. What you thinking about, buddy?
I would like to just keep it up in front and leave it there, but it ain't never gonna happen. Not in this car. But maybe I'll help work out whatever I can here tonight. So
just try to see what you can do.
That's my job tonight. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Help my teammate out.
Well, if you're there to win it,
help me out too.
Yep. If you're there to win it,
I want to win it too. I'm not gonna just give it to him.
Yep. All righty, Gary. We'll let you get back to it, brother. Good luck out there, and congratulations on the pole, man. Yep.
Thank you.
All right, I guess Gary's ready to go here tonight. Like I said, Robbie Darnell in third, Cal Heath in fourth. As we continue to go through the grid here, Clifton Ashley fifth, Jeff Gilmore sixth, Mark Emery seventh, Michael D. Walton eighth, Jim Coleman-Sperger ninth, and Kevin Roy 10th. Philip Bridgman, the last of the drivers to qualify, he's going to start 11th. Chris Paff in 12th. Brandon Hartwell 13th, Brandon Sheets in 14th. So we got a little bit of battle of the Brandons back there. Larry Blair in 15th, Keith Hurlbutt in 16th, Paul Buzz Cohen in 17th, Gomez in 18th, Christopher Campbell 19th, and Robbie Stewart in 20th, and it looks like it looks like Buzz didn't grid. He may not be filling up to the 100 laps here tonight, Will.
Yeah, that, like I said, that 100 laps is just past the halfway distance of a regular scheduled, in-person, real-life cup race here. So, good distance this evening. A good crowd showed up here for this event, I'd have to say. Good field of drivers.
Yep.
So,
Good turnout in chat, too. We got Tara, my brother, Brendan, Brantley, Eric's out there, and a name that I cannot mention because if I do, she may kill me. I got to keep it hush-hush for now, but she knows who I'm talking about. So glad to have all of you out there. And then 17 in total currently watching right now with 7 likes.
yeah, Harpoon design front row. So,
Yep. Well, we'll see how
well,
these guys shape.
it's. I was going to say it's kind of teammates for the first 2 rows.
Oh, yeah. Robbie Darnell, Kyle Heath. Well, here we go, folks. Pace car is off to the apron and then quickly down to the left side to the safety of pit road. And, of course, we've got to go through the tri-oval, and then they will get the green here tonight. Gary and Mark will see what kind of start they can get into the Geico start zone here tonight for the first time. Green is out. And buggity, folks, we are racing here tonight at Talladega. We're going to see a lot of side-by-side action here tonight. Maybe even see a couple of drivers pull it to the back. Well, we'll probably start seeing that after the first lap. We'll see who's going to be able to lead the first lap here tonight, which when we do cross the stripe wheel for the first time. And I always say it'll put us at 99 to go.
Yeah, take one down, throw it around. So, pretty even Stevens restart by both lanes as, oh man, there they go. So, Mark goes down in front of Gary. Almost mistimed it, but that was good timing, spotter awareness for those 2 drivers. So,
and it looks like Whitley got the first lap as well there, Will.
Yep, just perfect timing to go down in front of the tri-oval at that point to get in front of your teammate to lead that first lap, the opening lap, command this race, if you will. But that high lane or that outside lane might just have a bit more momentum. It's a bit more organized as well up top. So it's carrying a bit more speed.
And Kyle Heath, Jeff Gilmore up at the top. Right behind them, I believe, is the 8 of Michael D. Walton. Here we go. Kyle Heath is going to lead his first lap here tonight. Well, we've had now, it looks like, what was it? Just 2 different leaders so far, Kyle and Mark Whitley. Now we gotta remember we've got 3 different Marks out here. Mark Whitley, Mark Koshik, and
Embry.
And Mark Emery. And I'm not going to say anything about Mark Emery here tonight. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. That's all. So, there's reasons behind that.
Yep. Kyle Heath drops down in front of the 2 teammates, 2 Harpoon teammates, but then now they decide to go to the outside, get a good side draft on Kyle, and they bookie around him.
Yep.
As that side draft kind of stalled out Kyle.
Yep.
And back to Michael Dewalt pushing him now. So they are just jockeying back and forth. So
look at that outside line, though. A lot of drivers compared to the 6 cars down there on the inside line. That outside line is
where it's to be.
yeah, that's where they're at. You know, looks like Gomez back here with Christopher Campbell hanging out. They know it's a long race. They're not going to push the issue right now. They're just going to hang back, do their thing. I would say who the 8th spot is, but I'm not going to talk about him. So I'll go to the person right behind him, Kevin Roy. No, Mark Emery. That just seems like every time I talk about him.
So 3 lead changes early on in the first 5 laps between 2 drivers. As this race is slowly unfolding early going, it seems like lead changes might be just ever present if they keep this pack up. Mark getting close there for a moment. Or no, excuse me, that was Gary. Gary in the 78.
Yeah, Mark Whitley in the 77, Gary in the 78. Now that inside line starting to get it together. Kyle Heath, Jeff Gilmore, you got Clift and Ashley, and here we go.
3 wide at the moment. Kyle's going to be put in the sucker hole.
Yep, he sure is. No! And he got help, I think, a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
Robbie saw that Kyle got a bit compromised, got put in the middle, so he was going to come and give him some help, give him a push, try to get him back going again, and it almost turned him sideways.
I believe they're teammates.
Yes, they are, so that would have been a teammate-on-teammate crime.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that was avoided.
It looks like the 11 of Jim Coleman-Sperger, the 12 of Kevin Roy. They're all making their way up here. Chris Paff, I know we got Tara out there as well. Looks like Jeff Gilmore trying to lead his first lap, but I mean, it is so difficult. I mean, you see the middle line. Well, Kyle Heath and Robbie Darnell, there they go again, right up the middle.
Yeah, they are trying to break up that organization of just the two teammates of the Harpoon design teammates. They are trying to just not let them lead this field. They are trying to do everything they can, but man, every time Mark gets put back in the dirty air out of the lead of a line, he tries everything he can to get his car back in the lead of that line he was just leading. So 3 wide at the moment, battling for the front of the field.
Jeff Gilmore did lead a lap, so he does have that a lap led here, and Jeff is one of the top 16 drivers. Here we go again. While they're 3 wide up here, flash it real quick. The top 16 as it stands coming into tonight. Of course, like I said, folks, it's a crapshoot, anybody's race. And, whoa, Kyle Heath getting left out kind of in the dust again. It looks like Robbie Darnell pulling it down, and then Kyle was right up ahead of him. Mark Whitley and Gary getting kind of pulled back, but Jeff Gilmore leading charge right now.
Well, looks like 9 laps into this race, Joshua, and they're about to start getting single file for the most part, it looks like. About just to be cruising, riding around, but there is a few cars trying to prevent that at the moment on the outside lane.
Yeah, let me go ahead and check who that is. Of course, Whitley and Gary, we know, are up there together. We have the 11 of Jim Coleman-Sperger, and I believe that is the 12 of Kevin Roy up the top side here. So 4 cars up there on the high side with the, I'd say about 9 cars on the low side. Well, we've seen already what Mark and Gary is capable of doing on that high side. But so I wouldn't really count out the high side. Anyway, pre-race analytics are up here, folks, with the stage up at the top in the ticker. They cannot go the distance. They will have to pit at least once. And no fast repairs. I repeat, no fast repairs.
Coming to the conclusion of 10 laps in this race put down, and that bottom line got disorganized just for a moment. I believe the 5 of Philip Bridgman got a bit squiggly on that bottom lane. That opened up some gaps in the bottom lane, so
Yep.
that outside got a little bit of momentum and got 3 cars around in the lead of the field. That is the Kevin Roy and the 2 Harpoon design machines. So Jim Coleman'sberger was stuck out there for just a moment, but he found a hole.
Yep.
Now that is Bridgman and
Bridgman and the 73 of Larry Blair on the outside.
so they're looking for a hole now.
Yes, that is a technical term. Yes, crapshoot technical term. Yes. The reason we say that is because you just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, right now they're running side by side in single file. The next minute they could be running 3, 4 wide. Then the next minute 2 side by side. Then the next minute 3 and 4 wide. Then you have a big old wreck. And then you have different people coming from the back to the front to the middle. I mean, yeah. You just don't know. Right now, it's relatively calm, but we're not even quarter of the way through the race here. So you think this is mild compared to what it's going to get.
Yes. This is probably the calmest / mildest it's going to be all race long. Because they're just trying to get to that stage break. Then they get to that stage break, it's going to be a reset pretty much. And then after that, you know, they're still probably going to have, no doubt, another pit stop, maybe 2.
Well, let's see, 20 to 25 laps, so you're looking about every 25 laps or so on fuel. So 25, 50, 75, and then we'll be close at the end if they go green.
Yep.
So
it will be close for sure, so you have to keep an eye on it.
Moose Pie's out in chat. I had to say hi to Moose Pie.
Good to see you.
Mark Emery, Philip Bridgman, Larry Blair, top side here. You got 3 cars out here by themselves. And all the way back here, you still got Campbell and Gomez working together. Right at the tail end, though, of the front pack is Robbie Stewart hanging back with Keith Hurlbutt, Brandon Sheets, Chris Paff, Michael DeWalt, kind of going from the back toward the front at this point. Brandon Hartwell, Robbie Darnell, and you've got the side-by-side starting up the 4, the 5, 73, 75, the 11, and then the Napa machine. That would be the 10 of Clifton Ashley, who actually I'm on right now. So, like I said, this is the calm before the storm.
Kind of expect them to maybe start branching out to be pitting in about 5 to 6 laps. At least that's when the window would be open.
Yeah, about 5 to 6 laps. I mean, you could come down now and still make it, but that's going to put you right at that window to open again. But you could still make it.
Yeah, single file formation for the most part. We do have a couple of stragglers trying to get something going on the outside, trying not to be denied some type of power out there, but it is just not enough.
Really.
That big line of cars down in the bottom lane, just too many down there to do anything with.
Yeah, I think if they can get down there on the low side, I know they don't want to go single file relatively, as some drivers would say, relatively boring race just to go single file. But 100 laps, long race, get the laps wound down, get the stage out of the way, get some more laps wound down, and then maybe later on push the issue. And, you know, there's enough room here to go, you know, 4 wide if you really wanted to on the track. You know, if you really wanted to push it, I guess you could do 5 wide. I wouldn't suggest it, but you could.
Yeah, 4 wide is doable. 5 wide is plausible, but that's whenever it starts to get really. I mean, 4 wide can be a tragedy in and of itself, but whenever you start to push it 4 wide, that could be when, hey, maybe 5 wide, and then oh no, you know, you see cars doing barrel rolls and gymnastics and all this other stuff. So got to be careful. Now everybody's organized in a nice, you know, parade line here at the moment. So
we can
it might be. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and just kind of nosy on through here and maybe ride along here with Clifton Ashley in the mid-pack here, folks, and just listen to the sounds of the next-gen cars. And I was told earlier that the runs that you can get, you know, back up into the draft behind somebody is relatively quick. So if you drop back, say, a half a second, and you've got help behind you, catching up to the drivers in front of you is relatively quick. So you've got to watch it. Oh, and Clifton hitting those stupid bumps down there on that low side. That's the worst thing about this track at Talladega. It's that bump right before and as you enter the tri-oval.
Yeah, that's actually the bumpiest parts of the track, except for the repave on the back straightaway right before you go into turn 3. They put a tunnel in on the back straightaway. In real life, it's not in the game at the moment, but or in the sim, my apologies. But on the, like you talked about on the tri-oval down there on the bottom lane, that's just the it's so hard to even bump somebody on that bottom lane in the tri-oval. You don't really want to bump in the tri-oval at all. But just because of how bumpy it is, you saw that onboard shot with Ashley. Just that is downright just so unstable down there. You can see sometimes, depending, you know, in other series on iRacing, like the Gen 4 cars, maybe the Xfinity or trucks, sometimes, you know, you can just get loose in that bottom lane and just spin out because of how bumpy it actually can be. So
yeah. Well, Chris Paff leading a little pack back here. Brandon Sheets, Keith Hurlbutt, Robbie Stewart, Larry Blair. They've all kind of got connected together. There is a little bit of a gap between Chris and Michael Dewalt, almost 2 seconds. So they're kind of being patient back here. I mean, they are up to speed. Chris at 190, 188 coming through the tri-oval. He'll probably pick up about 190 roughly into the quarter. 191 is what it showed. But since he's leading the pack, his speed might be a little tad bit slower. He's got Brandon Sheets on his tail.
yes, Joshua, the lead car of any pack of any line is going to be slower. So if you go back to maybe Larry Blair, Robbie Stewart, maybe Keith Hurlbutt in that line, see how fast they're actually going. They're probably going maybe 5 mile per hour quicker, 3 to 5 mile per hour quicker than, say, the lead car in that line. So say, for instance, this lead line of cars that's being led by Whitley. So he's going, you know, 190, averaging, you know, 190-ish. Go further back in that line of cars. They're probably just going to be going a tad bit faster every few cars you keep going back. Yes, they're probably trying to conserve a little bit of fuel, just riding at the moment, but they are still lots of concentration being had here. You like say if a car is checking up in front of you, just try to maintain that beach ball gap or that gap to that car in front, not trying to push too much, not trying to be too aggressive at this moment. So you still have to be alert.
Yep.
Like, you know, it may look easy, it may look just, you know, hey, I'm just riding, but you still have a lot at play. There's still a lot going on.
Yep, and we are in that window, lap 23 here. It opened up at 20. So we are within that window of pit stops, and it looks like Campbell come down by himself, and he's doing a little blinky action going on down there. Does look like Gomez is also by himself. He's already made his pit. He is
I'm surprised.
Lap down.
I'm surprised that those two cars, our drivers, didn't pit together, since they were riding back there together.
Little shocker.
Yeah.
Yep, just the calm before the storm. Larry Kennedy out there in chat. How you doing?
Larry Kennedy, that is Grandpa Sheets.
Yep. That's Brandon's grandfather.
Good to see family members and everybody else out here as well, just coming out here.
Well, I still refuse to mention her name.
Yes, we very incognito.
Yeah, we do appreciate her being out there. That's for some safety issues. Maybe after the fact we can do it. Yeah, Tara. Yeah, sometimes it's so intense. Tara just keeps her mouth shut, and the only word she'll say is, "I'm here." That's it. That's all she'll say the whole race. Right now, though, it's pretty calm. I mean, just a bunch of single file going on right now. Whitley, Slapinski, Kevin Roy, Jeff Gilmore, Mark Emery, Coleman-Sperger, Ashley Heath, Darnell, Bridgman, Hartwell, DeWalt, Paff. Then you get back, Paff and Sheets lead the second group here. Paff, Sheets, Hurlbut, Stewart, Blair. Now Mark and Christopher are back out on the track here. Nobody is coming down pit road. Wow, was I lied to again on fuel? I think I was.
Sometimes we just get told numbers. Sometimes we don't know what to believe from time to time. We just have to take their word for it. So
I ain't got time to come out here and pull out some laps.
But, the pace that they've kind of been setting, maybe, they've just been not, like I said earlier, they probably, some of these drivers haven't really probably been pushing all that hard. So, good possibility that they have been able.
Leaders coming down. Whitley, Slapinski. That's it. Oh, nope, Phillips coming.
Bridgman.
Yep.
So.
Maybe Phillip wants to get hooked up with Gary and Mark.
I noticed something about Kevin Roy today. He's not in a Toyota.
Oh, he's not. He's in a Chevy.
So maybe trying a brand change or switch at the moment just to see how it feels for him.
Looks like that's pretty much all we have out here is Chevys. We got 2 Fords, that's it. Gomez and Campbell's the only 2 in a Ford. Everybody else is in the Chevy.
It's almost a single make series.
Pretty much. The thing about it is all the Chevys are lined up Them Fords ain't going to line up too well. So Whitley is back out. Gary, I think Whitley got a speeding penalty.
Yeah, kind of. I was going to say something, but I was kind of hesitant because of just how, when they hit the actual commitment line, most of the commitment lines in iRacing, as you know, Joshua, are just a tad bit further into the pit lane than what they are in the counter world of real life. So
Yeah.
sometimes that can throw you off just a tad bit, but if you know where they are all the time, it shouldn't. But if you practice it, you should be okay. But hey, racing mistakes happen. That is part of racing, and sometimes it can be costly. And in this instance, it can be slight costly, just because he's got no drafting partner at the moment. He's all alone on his own little island, and that's going to be quite dreadful.
Well, not gonna mention her name, but that's funny. That's funny. Here we go. Finally, the rest of them are coming down pit road. Mark Emery.
Who's going to get a speeding penalty there?
Oh, no, it doesn't look like anybody. It looked like everybody did shoot down pit road, though. So.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Philip Bridgman and Gary Slapinski, they have already pitted. And I was lied to.
Gary all over the back bumper, and Philip just come on, son, come on, let's go, come on. As everybody looks like it could just be a splash and get the you-know-what out of there as fast as they can.
Yeah, Clifton's already gone. Gilmore. Wow, boy. I was gonna say Jim, and then I said see Gilmore's name. So Jeff Gilmore and Jim Colmansberger, there we go. Brandon Sheets, Keith Hurlbutt, Michael Dewalt, Mark Emery, everybody is coming back out. Chris Paff and company back here as well. Chris right behind Gary and Phillip. But right now, Clifton leading the way, and he's only got, let's see here, at about 6 laps here. Remember, white flag will be at 35 when they hit 36. That is when the caution will fly for the stage break. Clifton needs a lot of help. 5 races into the 10. I think he's a little bit too far back to pull out the championship, but he can definitely pick up some much needed points.
Yeah, he might be able to pick up a spot or two. You never can tell if he can be able to be more consistent and able to show up the final 4 races after this. Maybe pick up a spot or 2 in the standings, just from where he kind of was in the playoff picture. Just very, very hurtful if you're not able to show up or say you miss a few races in the playoffs. That really puts you in a big spot. So
yeah. Yep, lap 32 now, and they've already made their first round of green flag pit stops. So I actually reset the fuel window here of 25 to 30 laps.
27 to 31.
Well, I put it 25 to 30, but.
Oh, okay, that works
yeah.
too. Each one way, half a dozen other.
Yeah, exactly, because we were lied to the first time. Now we all have a good time. I don't like knowing the actual number anyway, so.
Right. I like a little, just give me a little bit of suspense.
Yep.
Just a little.
Yep, 20 to 25 is what they told me, and it was actually 25 to 31, 26, 31, 25, 30. I'll just put it at that. Oh, well. Lap 33, man, the top 4, about 4 seconds ahead of Keith Hurlbutt and Michael Dewalt, and they got company coming. Mark Emery, Kevin Roy, Brandon Hartwell, Kyle Heath, Robbie Stewart, Robbie Darnell. So a battle of the Robbies back here. So whoever finishes ahead of the other one, they can keep their first name. The other got to change it.
Pit stops, the great equalizer, Joshua.
Yep.
Yes, that got to have bragging rights with the names. But pit stops also kind of separating who is where in the running order.
D-Wall down pit road. Row.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a penalty that he is serving now.
It might be. Unfortunately, I can't check any of that. He doesn't have any damage that I can tell. Well, he did come down, and now he's off and away. If it was a stop and go. It was only there for, let's see here, Michael D. Watt, 5 seconds flat, so...
Yeah, probably stop and go penalty of some kind.
Yep.
Maybe just could have been caught speeding, and I think you have 3 laps to serve it, so.
And here we go across the stripe. It'll be one more time around here this evening for the stage. White flag in
Coleman,
the air.
Spurger, and Sheets way back to get a run. Sheets kind of didn't go with Coleman-Spurger, though, immediately when Jeff kind of went up to block that run. Now he's getting back to him, going down the back straightaway here for the white flag of the stage.
And Jim and Brandon. That's the 10, too. That's Clifton. The 15 of Jeff Gilmore.
Jim comes down.
Jim gonna dump Brandon, just leave him out there to dry.
Yeah, he says thanks, but you know,
boy, that was close. But here we go through the tri-oval. Jim Coleman-Spurger will win the stage here tonight. Congratulations to Jim.
Yeah, what some moves they made in just that final lap.
Yeah.
And they had a big enough gap, too, to that other group back behind them. So they were able to, you know, do all that playing around and then jockeying for position. So that was a fantastic last lap. Hopefully a kind of a prelude of what's to come on the actual final lap of the race, hopefully.
There was some good spacing in between everybody. That's what happens under green flag pit stops is you get that spacing. Especially when drivers come down at different times. Now, if everybody came down together, well, I don't think you would have it that bad, but you would have it.
Yeah, especially with Whitley getting that penalty of speeding, being held in the box for serving that penalty. You know, we had a couple of pairs and groups. It's all about getting in, trying to maximize all you can get, entering the pit lane, and then having a good, getting in your pit stall correctly to where they'll actually service your car. Then getting out, getting up to speed, getting up through the gears, hopefully getting with your partners or somebody to draft with, you know, to get back in line, hopefully run down whoever you need to.
I imagine they'll come back down pit road. I know they've only been out there 8 laps, but, you know, I don't think they'll stay out. They'll top off on fuel and possibly, I mean, under yellow, would you go ahead and take 4, or would you just take 2 and go ahead and fill up on gas? Don't take any? What?
Well, under yellow, me personally, I would probably take just a set of tires here, more than likely, maybe, unless I want a track position possibly to get me up further up in the field. Then you would probably take just no tires, just fill that car up with just nothing but fuel there. But, you know, some drivers, if it's just a caution period, they like to come in, get 4 fresh tires, fill that car up, you know, full service stop. But like I said, if you want track position, either right sides or no tires. No tires normally. Like we talked about at the top of the show, tire wear isn't really gonna mean a thing, but it may help that car improve that handling ever so slightly because it is a hot track here this
Yeah.
evening. So that could be one thing to kind of think about whenever you make that choice for tires.
Yep.
Hey, it is a hot track that could help the car handle ever so slightly better.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get Mr. Coffee Man down here real quick. Jim, buddy, got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, man, how you doing today?
Not too bad, man.
Well, you got the stage win out here tonight, buddy. Coming into tonight, kind of far back into the points, but that doesn't matter. Congratulations on being in the top 16, man. We still have not only tonight, but 4 more races or 5 more races afterwards, so plenty of time. But tonight's a crapshoot, man. You timed it just right, made the pass when you needed to make it, dropped it down. Man, talk about the first run there, brother.
I was just being patient, man, just chilling. Working with Cliff and Jeff Gilmore and Kevin Roy, just trying to make our way up to the front. That's about it. It worked out for me. Cliff and Jeff coming out, we came out pretty good. And yeah, I kind of did that at the end just to see. We had a decent lead, so I figured I'd pull out, see what happened.
Oh, congratulations on the stage win, man. We've still got a long way to go out here tonight. It's been pretty calm out there for the most part. Do you think that's going to change?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to change. I mean, in the beginning, we were going 3 wide for a little bit, and that was surprising. But, people get bored here, and you got to do something to, entertain everybody.
Oh, yeah. I don't think single file is entertaining, but,
That's when you get the wrecks. We all fall asleep.
Pretty much, yeah. All righty, buddy. Well, Jim, congratulations on the stage win here. It looks like you're going to be restarting 5th, but, hey, it's a crapshoot, man. Anybody can win it. Good luck, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Be good.
Oh, I will. All right. Jim, the coffee man.
Yeah, we got some Folgers, some Miller High Life. We got some Mountain Dew, Rowdy Energy Drink. Just
And
pick whatever you want, pretty much.
And we've even got tumblers, the Me Marie Designs. We even got tumblers out there to mix it all in.
What's tumblers?
Tumblers, it's the cups and stuff. Tumblers, you shake
Oh,
them.
okay, yes.
The Me Marie
Yes.
Design, Kyle Heath's wife actually
Yes, good point.
designs those. So, we got a mixture of everything.
Learn something new every day.
Yep. Oh, yeah, still plenty of time. And Tara rooting on the SPR boys. A link to that. Let me see here if I can find that for you.
So gonna get the restart. 60 laps to go in this race, or 61.
And the pace car down to the apron here again tonight. Robbie Darnell gonna get us going. Mark Emery, Cal Heath, Ashley, Coleman-Sperger, Gilmore, Blair, Roy Sheets, Hartwell. Top 10 and into the Geico start zone here, and Robbie's on the loud pedal, and we are back green here tonight at Talladega for the Harpoon Design Sim Racing Unleashed Cup Series, Season 14, round number 5, top 16. Presented to y'all by MaxspeedTV. Robbie, boy, he got a little close down there to the that yellow line there. I didn't know exactly what he was doing. Looks like he might be trying to find some teammates here. There's Kyle Heath behind him. And Mark Emery.
And Mark Emery was able to get down behind Kyle Heath. Now Jeff Gilmore going to get in that bottom line, it looks like, perhaps, or he
Oh,
very undecisive at the moment. He doesn't know.
he doesn't know.
He thought that back lane, that top back lane was actually forming, but that lane, it doesn't know what it wants to do either. So cars, drivers, back and forth.
Its top lane is led by Chris Paff, Michael P. Walt. It looks like the 78 of Gary Slapinski, Mark Whitley back on the lead lap right behind him. You got Philip Bridgman, as well as, I believe, that is Gomez on the outside there. Yes, it is. Whoa! Wow.
Back on the lead lap as well. The only driver a lap down is Christopher Campbell.
Yep, right there in the 68. And I seen Chris Paff make a move down low, and so did Philip Bridgman just now. Looks like they are going to start going single file again here. Remember, it's a long race. Hey, we're 9 laps before, well, 8 laps now before we get to that halfway mark here, folks.
Clifton Ashley looking to take a peek, but gets back in line. Larry Blair gets out of line now. Kevin Roy. Everybody, they're trying to see if they can get something formed, something going on that outside.
Ooh, 3 wide sheets. D-Walt, Blair. Al Hurlbut's in the mix in this. Now back to side by side. Do have to be concerned about the single file though, Will, because that old dreadful bumper hook. Bumper hook. For those of you that don't know what a bumper hook is when the driver in front of you makes a move, and then you're right there, and then they come down, and your front bumper hooks them. Oh, there you go. That's the bumper hook. And it could be the fact that the car behind you, if you're the lead car, is rubbing up against you, going back and forth, and
a swiper, no swiping.
and usually it ends up being a bad swiping.
Hey, you know those dating apps where it's like swipe left or right? Yeah. Don't want to do that here. Well, the Harpoon Design teammates trying to get something going on that outside. They have a very persistent Philip Bridgman with them. I would have to say Philip, he really tries to be racy all the time, so he is trying to get another line going if possible. And they are making some hay, I'd have to say.
Yep. I believe that's where y'all are at. Up there in that general area. And Robbie,
So getting kind of racy.
yeah.
Lanes are changing.
Yep, Gary and Mark. We got a battle of the Marks here too. Mark Whitley, Mark Emery, and Gary. So they have moved back up to the front. And boy, that 4 is all over the 77 here.
Mark Emery almost pushing Mark Whitley up a lane.
Now, if you're
But
Emery, okay, you know, if you're Emery and you got Gary and Mark Whitley ahead of you, and then let's say Gary and Mark go to the high side, do you go with them? Or do you?
That's a tough one to call. I think earlier there, in the practice, Mark Emery was kind of hesitant to work with Gary and Whitley. So, whew, you never can tell. Mark Emery might be committed to Darnell and Heath, but just have to wait and see. I know if I'm trying to, better my
Ooh, they're going
position.
to leave that
Oh,
door open. Robbie and Kyle almost left that bottom open a little bit too much. I thought
yes,
Gary,
indeed.
for a second, was going to take it down to the inside.
Got to be careful. You can't give a window of opportunity because drivers love to take just an inch.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter if you're a sim amateur racing driver or real life counterpart. You see an opportunity.
Yeah.
You're going to try to put that nose in there if it'll fit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it don't take much to fit these cars in an area, especially at a track like this, because you leave a gap, you just with enough of the width of that car, and that car's going to fit. So if you can get it in there, get it in there. Whoa, the 5, Philip Bridgman onto the apron there. He didn't make any moves or anything to make a pass. I do not know if that is even legal over here. I know in real life racing you cannot pass below the yellow line unless you are dodging a wreck. So, whoa, hello, whoa, no, there goes Emery. No, there goes Emery again. No yellow.
And that's a hard crash, too, to that inside retaining wall.
Yeah, we're going to get a MaxspeedTV rewind on this to get a little bit of a better understanding about what happened. And it looks like there was a good battle here between Emery and Whitley. And
there was a checkup.
Yeah, and then Phillip, I believe that's Phillip, was coming right up to him. Wow, man, that was close between the 77 and the 4. And then Mark goes up. Phillip's just right there, and Mark gets hooked. There wasn't really anything Mark Emery could do. I mean, Phillip was right there,
Just classic Talladega accordion effect. Whenever there's a checkup situation, and like we talked about earlier, there's almost no time to react whenever something happens. So normally when something does happen, it's normally pretty big. That was fairly small. It was a big impact to the inside retaining wall to the 4, but it could have been a lot bigger. But that's just a tropical depression. It's not quite a hurricane, I would say, but
it's a tropical depression, not a tropical storm quite yet, but yet that's still
it looks like it could develop there.
Yeah, still a tough break for Emery. Man, he is just not having any luck, and I can't blame myself on this one this time.
No.
So
no, you had nothing to do with that.
I didn't. Hey, now, see how it is. Kevin Roy, Chris Paff, Philip Bridgman, Robbie Stewart, and it looks like the 10 of Ashley up to the top side. So that's going to put 3 drivers back to the outside line. They're going to try and get something done up there. There's just too many cars on that low side. Darnell and Heath, man, holding off. 78, 77, 75 right now. We'll see what happens. Still got a long way to go. And we are at the halfway mark, folks. So.
Yeah. I was just about to say we are halfway down and halfway to go, so.
Yep. And 18 of you tuning in here tonight, and 8 likes. Can we hit 15 likes out here tonight? It's gotten pretty heated out here this evening, but relatively calm. I still say calm before the storm, though. So it's not over yet. We'll heat up here before it's all said and done.
Yeah, we had a pop-up thunderstorm a few laps ago, but it dissipated. So Kevin Roy now falling back to the rear of this line. Philip Bridgman out there with him as well. Nothing going with that outside lane.
No. That kind of fell apart.
Yep, with that stack up and everything that happened just a couple of laps ago, that will kind of make some drivers just a bit weary and just, okay, go back to conservative mode.
53 laps of 100 here. We're setting at 9. We're setting at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, roughly. So they're going to be coming up to another round of pit stops, roughly in about another 13, 14 laps.
Yep, and like we
about
always
lap
say,
70, I would think. About lap 70, roughly. If my math is correct, 53.63, that would be 10. So, yeah.
and then that should get them home, I do believe.
Yeah, 20. Well, it'll be close.
It'd be very close.
It'll be very, very close. Might have to save a few laps, but right now,
I think
this is about as calm as I think we're going to get after we get that other round of pit stops. We're not going to see this side-by-side stuff. We're going to see 2 wide, 3 wide, possibly even 4 wide. Wouldn't rule it out.
Well, I think these drivers are trying to get to that window to where they are going to have enough gas to get them to the end of this race.
Heck, we got
But
18.
at the same time, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say we got 18 cars out here. Let's just go 18 wide.
Yeah, that would be something to see. Kyle Heath taking the lead away from Robbie Darnell now.
Yeah,
as
but look who.
the Harpoon teammates getting split.
Yep. I wonder if that's by design.
Chris Pratt and Robbie Stewart on the outside now. They had a good run for a moment. Yeah, that's a good question. Wonder if that's by design, if they're trying to just go their own way at the moment in time, or maybe if they just got split up by the pack, perhaps. But
Everybody teaming up against the 78, the 77 here tonight.
well, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's going to be maybe 2-4 people entering this race that that's what they're going to do. They're going to work together. That's all they're going to try to do throughout the race. Well, you need to try to split them up to where they're not going to try to be a powerhouse.
Yep. I've known Gary for a long time, so. Right now, though, Kyle Heath, he's led a couple of laps, so he'll get some bonus points. Of course, the stage points, if they are in the top 16, they really need those stage points. Of course, those that are not in the top 16, if they do finish in the stage to get points, they do receive them, and it does help them. But, ooh, man, watching that 3 back here, Robbie Stewart, boy, he is wobbly. Whoa! Who's that ahead of him? Oh, that's Path.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
So maybe just a bit of aerodynamic wash, just upsetting the cars perhaps, and just getting a bit squiggly. They're trying to get that outside lane as formed together as possible.
Yep.
Sometimes you want to be as square as possible when you do present these pushes to the person in front of you.
Got 5.
You don't want to be.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say you don't want to be misaligned or askew when you are pushing. You can be a little bit to the right, but you most definitely don't want to be to the left as well.
And
That'll
here
turn
comes
them.
Path.
Yeah, that outside got some good momentum.
Yes,
got
they
some good
did.
pushes. Robbie getting some getting organized here with Chris and
man.
Sheets. Got Keith as well.
Oh,
Brandon Hartwell trying to be there.
And Kyle is going to hold off Chris. Chris did not get that lap. Boy, that 3 of Stewart just could not stay on the back side of him.
And need really consistent, just straight line pushes. You don't, you need to hold the wheel as straight as possible.
Yep.
Sometimes drivers, I don't want to be too harsh on the forced feedback, but sometimes drivers may have a bit too much forced feedback in the wheel, and that could be a factor in play. One of the factors of why you see a bit of swerving urbanness.
Well, Chris Paff is going to lead that lap. He dropped it. Chris dropped it in front of Kyle. Got a little bit of a push there. Took some air off of Kyle Heath, and then got the lap back, and then went right back up in front of Stewart. So Chris Paff is going to officially get his first lap led here, lap number 60.
Now Chris and Robbie, they're pretty committed, it looks like, to working together on that top line. Sheets and Keith still in tow with them. Now look at that, the 5 of Philip Bridgman comes to join the fray.
He's back up here.
Hartwell said, I had enough of that, I'm going to get back in line on the bottom. Hartwell said there was nothing going, so just keep riding.
Not really. It's still too early to even make any type of big moves.
Oh yeah, we still got 40 laps to run here, so. But that outside lane getting ever so slightly in front of the bottom lane. They're all going to drop it. Oh, all of them did. All of them.
Yep, here comes Heath.
Yeah, Kyle Heath said, I didn't like that too much. I'm going to go to the outside, but nobody goes with him. Nobody goes to the outside with Kyle.
Well, here comes
Not really surprised with who was behind him.
Here comes Emery.
Yeah, wonder how much damage he was able to repair to the forecourt. Maybe he could be a good pusher. He's going to try to help Kyle Heath in his time of need.
Yep, right now he kind of needs it. Emery 7 laps down. Campbell is still a lap down. He is actually back here behind Jim Coleman'sberger, who is in 15th.
Well, those 4 guys, they ditched this draft. They obviously did not like the way these guys were racing or something of the sorts, and just was like, hey, they probably aren't finished wrecking yet, and or it hasn't even probably started there, in their minds. So let's just be a safe half a track away.
Yep, just kind of hang back here. They're going to be coming up on that potential last round of pit stops here in about 8 laps, so make it 7 here at the line. I do believe they will be able to get that far. Yeah, 24. Yeah, I think they'll be able to get close to it. They may be a couple of laps short.
Yeah, good possibility of pitting at lap 68.
Yeah.
But, they could go to 75.
Well, let's hope they don't. Well, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about what's going on in chat.
Oh, yeah, let's hope they don't, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's hope they don't. Now, most will be pit,
hopefully I don't die from laughter. 68 to 69.
Yeah, it's kind of what you were saying, Will, so. You and Brantley kind of on the same page.
And I wish I could be a crew chief for people. But Yep, Chris Praff and Robbie Stewart leading this race with that organizational help from Brandon Sheets and Keith Hurlbut. Philip Bridgman just kind of going with the flow of wherever he thinks he is needed. So,
Yep.
Kyle, he's still doing some good work on the outside, I'd have to say, with Mark Emery out there trying and hang tough out there the best of his ability. But he's got a hold.
Ooh.
Mark did not, so
Yeah, Mark.
Mark's probably just going to have to wait till he gets back here to the back of the line, just be the caboose maybe.
He's going to be battling the 78 here now, but not for position. Now, we do have to watch even the lap cars because something breaks loose, something happens. You know, they could wreck just like any of the other ones can, and that can upset the field as well. So right now, Paff leading the way. Robbie Stewart, Brandon Sheets, Keith Hurlbut, Philip Bridgman, top 5 with Kyle Heath right there as well. Gary Slapinski, Robbie Darnell, Mark Whitley, Clifton Ashley, Jeff Gilmore, Brandon Hartwell at the tail end. And got to go way back here to the 8 of Michael DeWalt by himself. Then Kevin Roy's by himself. Jim Coleman-Sperger, Larry Blair, Gomez right here together with the 68 of Christopher Campbell. So that's kind of how we're lining up right now. And they are getting ever so closer to the fuel, to making their pit stops. And Steve Tucker out there saying he just heard a rooster. Well, it wasn't from me.
I wonder where you heard the rooster from. I do not have a rooster.
I don't either. I got dogs.
Hopefully he's not hearing things. That would be terrible.
That would be. I mean, dogs is a far cry from a rooster. If my dog sounds like a rooster, something's wrong. I might need to make sure it's not a rooster then.
When did you start growing feathers? I thought you had fur.
Exactly, right? So they've been out here 29, 30 laps for some. So, yeah, they are going to be coming down pit road here, I do believe. Lap 70 is the halfway mark, but I don't know if they can go that far.
Well, they're about to be on lap 68, so
Yeah.
what's a couple of more? I mean, of course, vital, fuel, there's a couple of more, but
And again, I've been proven wrong before.
great race so far. The multiple different leaders of this race, different, I guess you could say, eras of this race has been controlled by the different leaders.
Yeah.
So.
Well, folks, we're still sitting at 8 likes out here tonight. We've got 17, 18, 19 of you tuning in. Very easily, we can hit 15 likes out here tonight for these guys. Here we go, leaders. Whoa, everybody except for Whitley and Slapinski are coming down pit road. Wow. So
I'll just have
Gary
to see.
and Mark shooting for that lap 70. So everybody down. Gary and Mark stay out. Kevin Roy back out. Jim Coleman-Sperger, Mark Koshik, Larry Blair, all these guys back here has been out here already a couple of laps, but Gary and Mark are the only two that have yet to come out. They're going to try it again here. This will be lap 32 for their stint, and it looks like DeWalt as well stayed out. So he's coming down now. See, he doesn't have any help, so he's having to, burn up a lot of fuel being out there by himself. Mark and Gary will be able to save a little bit by swapping back and forth, But they'll be coming down, I have a feeling, this time.
Oh, yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, Tara, hit that like button. Smack it. We even have a button for that. All right. Gary and Mark is down, so we'll see how quickly they can get in and get out. Brandon Sheets and company's just coming onto the backstretch here. Gary and Mark are just now getting into their pit boxes, and they slid in it together, getting the fuel.
Is this going to hurt them just being, a pair of them, not being a big group, a big organized group like we saw come in and pit all together? So,
well, I don't know. I mean, they're going to be coming back out. Brandon Sheets and company is now through the tri-oval. They just hit the line there, and yeah, we could see from Gary's car looking back, here comes the group. Well, they're going to be in this group, so.
You think so?
Yeah. No, I know so. Brandon Sheets and company is going high. They're going to let Mark Whitley and Gary come back out on the track, but they're not going to let them get in line. I guarantee you that.
Well, not everybody. Looks like not everybody is going to get around them.
No.
So, wow.
Last one that got around him was Jeff Gilmore. Oh, here comes Kyle. And Brandon.
Oh, Heath and Brandon Hartwell, yep. Keith Hurlbutt.
And Keith, yep.
Robbie Darnell attached to the rear of that outside lane.
Yep, and Robbie's led 18 laps here tonight. Man.
So Gary and Mark Whitley able to get in tow with this front pack. They were able to get up to speed.
And they didn't lose the draft, so they were able to stay in the draft. So therefore, they're still right there in striking distance. And then, of course, let me see here where we got. We got Ashley and Robbie Stewart in tow here. But, man, they are 3 seconds back. Golly, they need a yellow. They need a yellow to get back up there. Oh, Robbie Darnell. He got shuffled out. He couldn't get down there.
And he's kind of hung out to dry now. Is he going to be able to find a hole, or is he going to be stuck going all the way to the rear? Jeff Gilmore going to let him in.
Gilmore's going to let him in. Had to kind of, I think, let off a little bit, let him come down, but I don't think is Robbie even going to stay up there? Yeah, he's still there. All right, Kyle Heath leading the way. Hartwell, Hurlbutt, Sheets, Path, top 5, single file again. And now, for the most part, I do believe most of them, if not all of them, will be able to make it. We'll see, though. We'll see what happens. It's going to be close. When we get when we get down to 10 to go is when I'll say that person's name. Might even wait until 5 to go.
Maybe even 3 to go, Joshua.
Might have to wait till the white flag.
Coming out of the final turn.
And folks, breaking news here tonight, Will Roberts drunk all my coffee.
Oh man, I did that again. You would think I would be more excited or more.
Yeah.
Oh.
At least you could do is go get me another cup of coffee. Okay, that person said, just wait, don't jinx it.
we really need to get an intern for our
Yeah, that.
our liquid.
Yeah, right. I mean, I got a couple of doggies, but I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think
They don't have thumbs.
No, but they got dew claws.
Okay.
All right. As we are cracking jokes up here, just having a good time, folks. That's what we do here at MaxspeedTV. Just sit back, have a good time. Not really a whole lot going on right now. Everybody just single file, trying to wind down the final laps here. I still wouldn't count out, though, you know, Clifton Ashley, Robbie Stewart, Michael Dewalt, Kevin Roy, Gomez. You know, any of the guys that's on the lead lap. Would not count them out. And I really technically wouldn't even count out Christopher Campbell here either because, you know, we get the dreadful rubber ducky and he's not involved in it. You know, he'll be the lucky dog, Will, and, you know, he'll be able to get back on the lead lap and everybody will be stacked back up. We don't want to see it, but is it possible? Yeah, I mean,
No.
we're not even at the white flag yet, so.
Quite possible. Anything can still happen yet.
Yep.
And we got about, what is that, 9, 10 cars in this front draft.
10
So-
it looks like. Yeah, 10 cars. The top 10 are right here together from Kyle Heath all the way back to Mark Whitley. They're all in a line right here. 3, 6, 9. Wait, that is right. Isn't it? Kyle,
Yes.
Brandon, Keith, Brandon, Chris, Phillip, Robbie, Jeff, Gary, and Mark. Yeah.
So they get to racing real good.
Yep.
And, you know, contact can be made and then meets wall and then ricochet out. You can never know. You could do a barrel roll. So,
Oh, we don't want to see no barrel roll. They get no.
Well, no.
They get no fast repairs this season.
yeah,
So-
that kind of puts you in a hole sometimes if, you know, you kind of almost get put in a box.
Yep.
Not necessarily a hole, but a box that you kind of, everybody gets put in. And you got to be a bit more conservative, a bit more mindful in your actions. So you got to be like, okay, well, I don't have that second chance. I don't have that, you know, reverse card I can pull out. So just got to be more mindful in what moves you make on track. The leaders only a straightaway away from some cars
Yep.
that are in danger of going a lap down.
Let's
So
take a look at who those are. Jim Coleman-Sperger, Larry Blair, and Mark Koshik, I believe, is who they are. Let's see, Kyle Heath is across the line. So he'll be coming down and out. He'll be coming out of 2 here momentarily. But I believe that's right. Jim Coleman-Sperger, yeah. Yeah, that would be Jim. Jim and company. Jim, Larry, and Mark.
So stage winner
Yeah.
almost in danger of going a lap down here. Kyle Heath in control of this race at the moment.
Not quite yet, 20 more. We hit the line. They got to finish lap 80 before it'll technically be 20 to go. So we are going to be at lap 80 with the stripe there. So next time by, it'll reset. It'll be 20 to go up at the top. Close enough, close enough, close enough. I mean, if you think about it, it is technically 20 to go, but the way iRacing deems it, you got to finish the lap before it's 20. It's all confusing.
Brandon Sheets getting kind of laying back a little bit just from the looks of things. He's got Chris Praff and not sure who maybe Phillip.
That's Phillip.
Yes, indeed,
Yeah,
Phillip.
that's Phillip
So-
Richmond.
Not
Robbie,
sure if this is by design or what, but it does look like he is laying off just a tad bit to try to get a run.
that looks like
if-
Robbie's holding back a little bit too here.
Yep. So multiple game
Now
plans
we are
ensued.
at 20 to go. Sorry, I like picking on chat. That's just the way I am. Trust me, ask
Oh, no.
Will. He picks on chat too. So
Yeah, if I see something I think is funny or I like, I got to comment about it.
yep. So we've got 20 to go. Man, it's going to be close, I believe. 20. They've been out here 13. That's going to put at 33. Ooh. Gary,
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Gary Slapinski and Mark Willie, 11. 20, that's 31. I think they can make it. I think.
Oh, we got some cars in pit lane, it looks like.
Yeah, we do. Coleman Spurger, Gomez, Larry Blair, and Christopher Campbell. So Christopher just went down a second lap here. So they realized they didn't have enough to make it. So they're probably thinking, well, if they don't have enough to make it, nobody has enough to make it. Well, you don't know Gary as well as I do. And apparently I don't know him as much as what I thought I knew him.
Was he the one that told you the fuel mileage?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember who said that. I'll blame it on Larry.
Oh,
I'll just blame it on Larry. I don't remember who said it.
yeah, we'll have to get a Greyhound bus and just throw them underneath it, you know. These laps just kind of crunching away here as almost a 3-car lead, as Brandon Sheets just being patient at the moment, it looks like. Maybe also possibly these guys also being very conservative,
Yeah.
trying to save what they can to get them to the finish.
Well, Steve, I don't know if you said anything in chat that, can let me pick on you other than the little comment about a rooster. Well, we appreciate that. We try our best. Been doing this since 2016. I've had my fair share of ups and downs and calling races when I'm sick, and I think I've been through the ringer of many times, but let me tell you something. You meet a lot of people. A lot of people. I've never met but I think one person from iRacing in real life. And that's just because that person lives in the same town I live in. That's it. So heading the 16 to go mark here. Kyle Heath leading his 19th lap. Well, you can lead all the laps. You do get bonus points for leading the most laps, but you know that most important lap, Will,
is the final one.
Is the final one. Man, and we're still single file. I mean, nobody really has done anything to even suggest that they're, they don't have enough fuel. Kyle Heath, though, I mean, oh, here we go. Whoa. Okay, well, now that I say that, oh no! Keith goes around, caution is out. Oh, no.
That's exactly what you don't want to happen in a late race scenario pit stop situation like this.
Oh, man.
They did it so well earlier on, and
coming down pit road here. Looks like somebody blinked out there, too. That was the 5 of Philip Bridgman, I believe, that blinked out, but I believe the caution was actually up
Sheets
here.
comes in here and just
Oh, right
I don't know if he
there.
got hit by Phillip as Phillip blinked out and maybe kind of gave him some more oomph, or what? No, Phillip's already way. Oh man, wait.
See, you see,
Him and Gary kind of
yeah,
might have made contact. So Sheets just has more speed coming off the track. He's trying to get down, and you know, it is so
right
difficult coming
there.
down average. Oh wow.
Right there would be the yellow. And of course, we had the incident on pit road here too. So, I do want to get on Kyle. Kyle.
Just a combination of things
Yeah,
happening.
I want to get on Keith here. Keith Hurlbutt, because we had a combination of stuff. We had the incident on track. We'll take a look at that in a minute. That's where the yellow came out. But right here, Kyle Heath is on his brakes. The 19's right there. Then the 2 slides in, hits the 25, and then the 25 right up into the 19 of Keith Hurlbutt. And then, of course, the yellow is going to come out with the 5 and the 78 here. So let me go ahead and rewind this and take a look
Yeah,
at this.
Phillip had a blinking moment, and he kind of disappeared, reappeared,
Yeah.
kind of like a ghost,
Yep. See,
and just reappeared right.
right inside basically of the 78, right there.
Yep,
Yeah, nothing Gary could have done.
just internet connection, net coding, just all that mixed together, just worst time scenario type of things.
Well, it ain't over. It is not over.
Well, Robbie told us last week he was, hoping to make the races a bit more interesting in any way possible whatsoever.
Yeah, but he
and
didn't
just
mean
increasing.
he didn't mean net code.
Well, no, not. But I mean, like, just the fuel mileage kind of scenario that has really played a huge factor into this race. Just I thought, well, it's just going to be another like regular, 94 lapper or something like that, just a halfway or maybe just below halfway distance, 80, 94 laps, something like that. And then it's 100 lap scheduled distance. And man, with the fuel mileage, the way it is, the percentage of fuel here in the SRU Cup Series, that just throws a curveball, a forkball, a slider, all of those at once,
And the biggest pitch you could throw in is a knuckleball. So
yeah.
Tim Wakefield, probably one of the best knuckleball pitchers in baseball. He, of course, unfortunately passed away. But, that dude, he could throw a knuckleball.
Oh, yeah, that just remarkable, the pitch control that man had.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, Brantley, yeah, I think the 5 was gone from everybody. I believe Will's watching the same stream. I'm streaming it in Discord for Will, so he's seen what I seen. So
yes,
so he was gone. I mean, pace car lights are off. You know what? We're just gonna let these guys race it up out here tonight. We're gonna have to go ahead and say it. Is cautions gonna breed cautions?
Well, they can get really racy here at the end. I don't see why they wouldn't. It's basically crunch time. It's go time. You got to make your moves now. This field, some drivers are kind of out of position, so just have to just sit on the edge of our seats and wait to see how this race is going to unfold.
All right, Slapinski, Whitley, Sheets, Paff, Stewart, Ashley, Gilmore, Dewad, Hartwell, Roy, top 10, Bridgman, Hurlbut, Heath, Darnell, Koshik, Coleman, Spurger, Blair. That is the top 17. Coleman, Spurger, and Blair are 1 lap down, so they need a quick yellow here especially Jim, needs a quick yellow to get back on the lead lap. But the pace car is once again down to the apron here and going to dive safely to pit road here, folks. Coming in back into the tri-oval. And once again, we got 1 and 2 up here. 1 and 2.
Yeah, going to be 12 laps to go when they get to the line. Gary changed lanes before the start-finish line. I don't know if that is something to be looking at as far as, something you can or cannot do.
Well,
I know in other leagues that is a penalty offense. So.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. It might hurt him. We'll let Robbie and all the admins. I think it's actually technically Robbie. We'll let Robbie handle that one.
Brandon Sheets sitting there in third place. He's got Chris Paff right there behind him. Clifton Ashley right there.
Did you call him Chris Ashley?
Yes. I was about to. I almost caught myself, but you caught it. So
I got it.
It happened.
I got it. So we have Chris Ashley out here. We got we got a Clifton Paff out here. So we're going to be flipping some names out here tonight, folks. It's all right. Can't be any worse than what I did earlier. So
Right. Kevin Roy trying to go upstairs, make something happening, but nothing really. But he's going to have some cars get to him.
Yep, the 11.
Don't know.
That is Jim. But Jim's a lap down. Whoa!
Could have been big trouble right there, but everybody
Three
caught
wide behind him. Kyle Heath in the middle. Well, it was. Not anymore. Oh, gosh.
it. Well, 10 laps to go now.
Daryl Young out in chat. How you doing there, buddy? Boy, Will was calm. Oh, no! Phil! Heavy damage on the 5. There is no yellow. There's the
I think
yellow.
they were still wrecking in 3 and 4, though.
Oh, Larry Blair. Yep. All right. Well, let's go find out here. Yep. If you hear the uh-oh sound, that means the game is not over. That means that's a oh man, this is a pretty good size one here too. Golly, I believe this is where the yellow will come out right here. Oh man, they were all over the place up here. I think they were just trying to get around the 5 here, wasn't they? No, they were 4 wide. Okay, so it all started back here with and around the 4. And I hate putting Mark Emery on this because he just seems like he's had no luck. But this is where it all started, really, right around Mark Emery. There's the 5. We've seen him come across here. Mark and everybody's just trying to dodge it. And we're 4 wide right here. And it was just kind of a, pile up right here. Gomez going to get it. Darnell going to get it. And as well as Robbie Stewart going to get it too, man. Oh, man, that Marlboro car looking like our pack of cigarettes over here after the dog got a hold of them. Sorry. Had to say it.
Well, the initial cause of this incident looked like what happened so long ago in this race between Mark and Phillip. Just a kind of a stack up, kind of a check up, and just bumpers meeting fenders, and then more chaos ensued further down into the corner as they funneled on in. Everybody kind of checking up, getting 4 wide, 3 wide, and then more contact being made. Just one of those typical Talladega wrecks, really, after what results from like an accordion stack-up effect. So, almost a typical thing to see in the closing stages of these races. You know,
Yep.
you get a checkup happen, just like what we saw earlier. You know, it was only a single car incident earlier in the race, but now, you know, everybody's more closer together, more kind of compromised and condensed, and like I said, getting here to the closing laps of
Yep.
the race, everybody trying to get what they can get.
I'm going to go ahead and
And
pick on Gary and Mark here for a second. And the reason I'm doing that is because they are teammates and they are up here 1 and 2. So if you're Brandon Sheets, you're Chris Paff, you're Clifton Ashley, DeWalt, you know, these guys, these drivers, very good drivers, by the way, that are behind Gary and Mark. How do you break these two guys up? Either get them out on the high side by themselves, on the low side by themselves, get, you know, one of them in the back, one of them in the front. How do you separate these two teammates?
well, you got to try to pinch them down, side draft them to where there will be separation, to where one of them cannot get to the other, to give them a push that they need to stay, you know, to be there together up front. That's one thing. Just maybe get enough people behind you to get enough momentum of a push to get around them. If you can get enough cars to just work with you, enough drivers to work with you to go, you know, the opposite lane to where they are, just dispose of them, put them in the back. Hopefully, just kind of get rid of them. They've kind of been kind of the leaders of this race, if you will. They've been trying to control it all race long, and we've seen other pairings or other teammates, other teams try to, you know, kind of topple them, maybe put them in the back, kind of, you know, split them up per se. But, you know, at the end of the day here, they have just been ever present.
Yep, you got Gary's led 11 laps, Mark has led 20, Brandon has led 1, so he does have a bonus point. Chris Paff has led 9, Ashley has led 6. Now, DeWalt, this is one of the drivers you got to watch because, you know, late in the race and, you know, DeWalt coming in, he won round number 2 of the top 16. So he's looking to capitalize and maybe win his second race of the top 16. Now, he is not in the chase. So, you know, if he could grab another victory and take away points, that would be, you know, outstanding for DeWalt. So, you know,
Michael's been kind of quiet this race. We haven't really talked to him except for about maybe the beginning of the race where him and Gilmore were kind of pushing Heath early going. But other than that, we haven't really talked to him or talked about him that much. But, yeah, I almost think Michael DeWalt is a dangerous man late in this race. You know, you just don't know what to expect, Josh.
No, you don't. And with 7 to go, it will be 6 to go when we hit the strop. I believe Brendan even said that, yep, 6 to go. So, yeah, when we get green, it'll be 6 to go.
So not quite green, white, checkered territory. We still would have to have at least another caution for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't see it. Hopefully this race can play out to the end green. But, you know, we do have those 3 attempts.
Yep,
You know,
3 attempts if it comes down to it. And here we go into the Geico start zone, and Gary's on the loud pedal. Everybody's still in the same lane. Now they could switch lanes if they want to. I do believe that is the rule. I don't know for sure, but we will we'll make sure we verify that. But Gary is going. Oh, and he almost took out his teammate. Here comes Sheets. Oh, wow. That broke him up. That split him up.
Gary he really wanted to get with Mark Whitley. Yeah. Michael DeWalt pushing Paff.
Yes.
Brandon Sheets now on the back of Whitley.
And Paff to the inside.
Power move by Chris to get to the bottom lane. Michael DeWalt now gonna have help from Jeff Gilmore. Big separation on the bottom lane. Bottom lane separated now. So top lane has the momentum and the numbers.
Ewald gonna lead his first lap with the help of Gilmore, but we got 5 to go, folks.
So Gilmore and Keith Harrell been pushing Michael Dewalt. Gilmore kind of looking, peeking, taking looks, but the two beer cars in the front of the field leading this race.
Oh, man. Dewalt, Gilmore, Hurlbut, Jim, here we come. Jim
Jim
making his
Clemensberger
presence known.
just got back on the lead lap, if I'm not
And
mistaken.
look
So
who's
there
behind.
he goes.
And
Look at that.
Look who's behind him. Whitley
Yes, the
and
Harpoon teammates.
Slapinski. There they go to the outside. Jim,
Come up,
what?
Jim. Come up, Jim.
Oh,
Oh.
no, here we go.
Oh.
We're going around. We're going around. This is going to be a big one.
Oh, around and
Oh, man. Uh-oh.
now that is our Hurricane Category 5 there. We said it was just a tropical depression earlier, but as you can
It
see,
went from depression to straight up Cat 5.
yep,
Oh, man. And, yeah, it was a big one, too. I mean, there was a lot of drivers involved in this, and I had a feeling it was going to come down to the wire. This is going to set up a GWC here. So let's kind of figure out what happened. Well, we kind of know what happened. We got 3 wide up at the top. We got
Chris
Chris
went into the middle. He had a run, and he put it in the middle. Kyle Heath was giving him a push.
Yeah, might have had some
And
net code into that here, too. But, I mean, you...
ever so slight.
Yeah,
they were going to probably touch
they
eventually.
they were going to touch, yeah, guaranteed. And then right there is the 77. And then it just kind of went on from there. Oh, my golly, the 75 got a piece of it. I'm just trying to look and see who all got involved. Oh, Kyle
was
Heath.
that Dewalt that gets... Who was that sneaks by? Right before Gilmore gets sandwiched. Someone right behind Gary.
It was Dewalt.
Okay, so that was Dewalt that sneaks by. Wow, look at Dewalt sneaks by as Whitley and Gilmore sandwiches in the wall there.
And it looks like Keith made it through that with some damage. Mark Emery, Chris Paff, Jim Coleman-Sperger. There's the 10, the 13.
Hartwell gets by, I think.
Let's see here. Who got by that? Let's see. Okay, so we know Gary and Dewalt did. Keith did. It looks like Sheets got by. And, yeah, Hartwell did. Look, it looks like that. Let me check some damage here. So it does look like, ooh, Brandon does have some front end damage. Brandon Sheets does too. Keith Hurlbut, he's got some damage. So they didn't come out unscathed. Kevin Roy looks like he might have came out unscathed there. If he does, it's the slightest bit of damage. Jeff Gilmore, he's got some left sides and some rear. Ooh.
And a bit of splitter front end on the left front there on the splitter.
And so some drivers are, you know.
I'm surprised that car is still going straight. It's not crabbing or nothing. That's kind of surprising. Well, it looks a little crabby.
A little crabby. We're not talking about Krabby Patties, are we?
No. Like the car basically, as it, like say for instance, if it's going straight, it could be like off-centered.
Yeah.
From the chassis or basically dog track in another sense, I guess you could say. There's another term for it, I guess.
We've got only 9 drivers out here on the track right now. Whitley, Ashley, Coleman-Sperger, Gomez, Darnell, and Stewart all on pit road. Emery is hanging out down here on the apron, but man, I think Emery, heavy damage on the 4. Yeah, he's coming down pit road. Yeah,
his car's crapping a little bit.
Yeah, man, toe link damage probably.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Definitely some steering damage, for sure.
Track bar.
Yeah. All right, so Slapinski, D-Walt, I said watch him. Wasn't wrong on that one. Hurlbut, Sheets, Hartwell, top 5, but you can't rule out anybody else that's on the lead lap either, because
I think Gary, Michael, and Kevin, those 3 cars,
Kevin.
I think
Kevin?
have
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Roy.
Kevin Roy, yeah.
Those 3 cars, I think, from the looks of everything, have the less damage out of all these cars still running.
Let's see, 20,
So
25 here of Hartwell. I did check Hartwell, didn't I? Yeah, he's got some left side driver damage. He's got some front end damage. I don't know if it's affecting the heat. You know, I don't know if that car's heating up any. We'll find
are the
out.
downforce capabilities of being able to lead.
All that plays a factor.
Oh yes. So what happened to a nice, beautiful field is a gnarly, just shunts into the wall and just went chaotic there towards the end of this race. And now we have just a handful of cars remaining. Like we talked about.
I try when I do replays, and Will knows me, and everybody that's been tuning in, you know, to me for the last, I don't know, 7 years or whatever, and then even those new that come in, I try to look and see what happened. I try to get the best angle I can. Sometimes it ain't the best, but, you know, I look at everything. What could have been, should have been. You know, everything. Because, you know, you could have had netcode started a wreck, but then again, there's contact, or they would have made contact regardless. So, you got to look at the whole perspective. However, with that being said, that's just the way I am. I call it as I see it. So, here we go. Green, a white checkered attempt, number 1, and the green is out. And, boy, there he goes. Michael DeWalt with the help of Sheets. Boy, Slapinski just did not get going, and the 8 going to drop it right in front now. So we've got 2 to go. We've got to get. Oh, there he goes, Gary.
Gary going to shuffle out.
Yep.
So what's going to transpire with this lap and a half of racing here to go?
I think Gary's got some damage. He's bringing Brandon Sheets right along with him. But they're not fully up to speed yet either. Well, they're close, 187 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're still shuffling around, still trying to, like you said, still get up to speed. It should be now coming to the stripe. They should be fully up to speed.
Ewalt to the top side again. Coming to the white flag. Here we go. White flag in the air. 1 to go. Gary's going to
come up to block that run.
Nope. He won't have it.
Yeah, they're going to just switch positions. That's a cut. 3
wide behind them.
Side by side. Who is Brandon Sheets going to push? Brandon Sheets going to go way wide, trying to get all that he can get. Gary blocking.
Well, they're 4 wide out there, folks. Whoa!
4 wide for a brief second. Gary in the lead, trying to control this race. Every lane possible. Kyle Heath goes to the outside. Now ducks back to the bottom. No help.
No
There's going to be 3 wide. It's number 3 wide coming into the trioval.
Who's got it? No, who's got it?
Brandon Sheets takes the lead of the trioval.
Yeah,
and he's going to get the second flag.
He got it. Brandon Sheets going to win it here tonight. We're going to rewind that. I didn't even have to yell it. I saved my voice. Will yelled it.
Oh, that was just a power move, man. They all got racy there. Brandon had a good push from Chris. Chris gave him excellent push coming up out of turn 4. He gets all the way to the wall so nobody can side draft him. Great move by Brandon, positioning his car right where he needed to. Gary was like, oh, there's somebody to the outside. And by the time he noticed or saw that, it was too late. He had already had the move made. And wow, just excellent final last lap, final green white checker there.
I was going to say something earlier because I know Grandpa Kennedy was out there cheering Brandon Sheets. here tonight, and I said to myself, what it would mean to Grandpa Kennedy if Brandon Sheets won the race here tonight.
Oh yes, most
And
definitely.
look at what just happened. I kept my mouth shut, and it happened. Well,
See what happens when you keep the thoughts to yourself?
Exactly. All right. Well, our top three here tonight. Brandon Sheets grabbing the victory, burning it up out here tonight. Gary Slapinski in that second spot. And Keith Hurlbut will round out our top three podium here tonight, folks. So give me just a few minutes to get these top three drivers down here real quick, and we'll have a chit chat with them here tonight, and kind of talk about the racing and all that other goodness, and of course the upcoming races here, folks. So hang tight. We will be right back. Well, alrighty, folks, I have caught up with the top three here tonight, and we are going to be pulling up our winner here this evening here at Talladega, Brandon Sheets there in that number 2, reaching out as a sign of strength machine. Brandon, man, what a move there at the end, brother. Got a shove, it looked like, by Chris Paff, and that kind of helped propel you. But, man, overall, it was kind of tame for most of the race out here tonight. Brandon, talk about it.
It was definitely up and down night. Just a lot of taking, just taking anything you could get. Our strategy was to hang back in the back for a while, but then it seemed like after that first stage break, it seemed like it was about go time. So, it was a crazy race. I can't thank my team enough. Like, we tried to link up together as best we could. Chris gave me that last push right there at the end. Big shout out to Keith finishing third, another one of our teammates. It was good. And then in back-to-back weeks, SPR comes out on top.
Yeah, and coming into tonight, Brandon, you're third in the point standings. You were 43 behind Mark. You were 31 behind Kyle. You know, I mean, we still got, you know, a lot of races left. I mean, stage points at this point are going to be detrimental. So, you know, going in, you know, to the final 5 races left, brother, you got to win out here, man. So awesome job on that. But just overall stretch here tonight, 100 laps. Usually we see 94. This season we're seeing a little bit longer of the races toward the end of the season here. So, Will, we got some feedback there on your brother. Just let you know. Um, you know, just kind of talk about, you know, what was it like coming into tonight?
Yeah, the competition up in the top 5 in the chase is tight. I mean, it seems like you have to win to gain any ground on these guys. Like it's insane. I think I've had 3 or 4 top 5s in the chase so far, and in a couple of second places and a win now. And like I'm actually still losing points because these guys are winning races. So it's you have to win to make it be able to close that gap, and this definitely helps. I need to try to carry this momentum into the next rounds.
Yep.
I mean, we've been doing good as a team. Me and Chris, like I said earlier, back-to-back wins for me and him for SPR. So we're doing what we need to do to kind of close that gap with Kyle and Mark, but it's a tough task.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, we've already been to the next. We already been to the track that we're going to next. We had to go all the way back to May when we raced at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the World 300. Of course, we're not quite going, you know, 200 laps, but we are going to be putting in some laps there. It looks like we're going to be pushing 134 for the Charlotte 201. How do you feel about Charlotte? Again, you did come in 4th in the World 300. So do you have what it takes to, you know, maybe grab a back-to-back victory?
I think I can definitely be in the run for it. I think in season 13 I finished 3rd. Season and this season in the World 300 I finished 4th. So I've been just close enough to smell it, but I haven't been able to get the checkered. So I'm looking forward to next week and see what I can do and try to at least get another top 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to it's going to be close for sure. Well, Brandon, awesome job out there here tonight, brother, on the win. I know you got some final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give here tonight, buddy, before you go celebrate. So the mic is yours.
Yeah, thanks for everything you do. Not Kyle, Robbie Darnell, wrong teammate. Robbie Darnell for doing everything with this league. I mean, Kyle does admin work too, so he works hard too in this league. So shout out to him as well. My teammates Keith, Robbie Stewart, Chris Poff with the hell of a shove right there at the very end. Everybody watching, and looking forward to next week.
All righty, buddy. Well, go celebrate the victory here tonight, man. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, that is going to bring us here to our second place finisher here tonight. Gary trying to do all he can to keep that car up there. The 78 Harpoon Design Racing Team. Gary, man, it was calm earlier, and then the storm happened.
Yes,
Man.
it did. In a hurry.
Yeah.
It did.
Well,
Took out my part.
well, talk about it, man. It was an overall relatively calm race. And then I think Mark might have got caught speeding early on pit road. Not sure exactly. Maybe you could allude to that. But, man, we got to hear from you, brother. Hello.
All right, there we go.
Oh.
Hit the mute button by accident. So yeah, he got caught speeding earlier. Yeah, he definitely did. Where that first pit stop, he just said to me, I didn't practice pitting here. I don't know how this is. And I was like, all right, well, do you want to go inside or outside? I'll take down the inside. And he drove it down in there. Tires were smoking, and he goes, I got caught speeding.
Oh.
I was like, oh no. But he was able to stay on the lead lap, which was a good thing, But after the stage, me and him had a plan. We kind of pitted two laps later, and we had enough to finish the race. Where we had a plan, it was going to work out, but there was a late caution there. I don't know. They all pitted, and all of a sudden the 5 car was in front of me. And he was a ghost.
We've seen that.
I was like, "What the heck is going on here?" I said. But we were good from there to make it to the end. That was our plan. It was going to work out great, but Unfortunately, you know how the racing guides are. They never are friendly with you.
Yeah, they can be cruel sometimes, but internet,
Yes.
yeah, everybody's got different internet, so some things happen at the unopportune time, and yeah, the five, he was even gone on my end, and then all of a sudden, see, I thought the caution happened as they were coming down pit road, and then as I rewound it, I seen, something was going on up there. The five was gone, and then all of a sudden he was around, and well, it came up onto the inside of you, so it's like you couldn't have done anything. I mean, you were right there,
Never
so.
saw him.
Yeah, so well, yeah. I mean, he was gone, and then bam, he was there. So
Yeah.
but it is what it is, man. Of course, we've got 5 races left, but overall racing, man, you guys had a strategy out there, and it was playing out like you was talking
Yeah, it
about,
was.
and then
It was really going to work out. It was going to be a great, really, really great plan, and it was, thanks to Brantley and Daryl. They're our spotters. They told us to save, save, save. Those in the middle, 3/4 of the way, through that run there, and they said save everything you can, and it would have been a great plan. And they guys did know what they're doing. They're good at super speedways, and a little, it just didn't, like I said, it didn't work out for us, but. I pulled out a second today. I'll take that. I mean, I just missed the first. A bit better if I had a teammate behind me, but right.
hey,
Take it.
man, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I say it every week. When we go to a super speedway, they're crapshoots. Anybody can win
Yeah,
them.
they really are.
We do go back to a track next week. Gary, you finished second at the World 300 at Charlotte, so we return there next week.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Charlotte?
Oh, I like Charlotte. I like it a lot. See, I mean, Mark's really good there too. So see how it works out. I really liked racing there. It's a fun racetrack.
Alrighty, buddy. Well, go celebrate P2 here tonight, man. I know you got some final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give, buddy. So I'm going to turn the mic over to you.
Yeah, thank you. First off, I'd like to thank you. You guys do a great job week in, week out. Everybody out there watching. I would like to thank, of course, Mark, Daryl, and Brantley, for everything they do. I'd like to thank Driven, of course, Harpoon Designs, great sponsor. There's it's written all over my car. Pretty crazy car out there already. Check it out. Both of ours. We had brand new dark. We wanted dark colors, and I really like it. It's a really good looking race car, both of them. And that's about it. Everybody out there, God above, thank you for me. Let me do this week in and week out. Thank you.
Alrighty, Gary. We're going to celebrate P2, man. We'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
You too. All right. Well, that is going to bring us here tonight to our 3rd place finisher, holding it on in the Yingling Flight 19. Keith Hurlbutt, buddy, you held on to it. You found some way of getting through the carnage down there at the end, man. Talk about it. Like I was, I talked to the other ones before, it was calm for the most part. And then we went from, like Will was alluding to from a tropical depression to a Category 5 in an instant. We got to hear from your perspective, the driver that was down there on the track, buddy.
Yeah, that was an insane ending, man. It was fun, but also my heart's still beating out my chest for that one. That last caution, before the green white checker, I had quite a bit of damage, so I didn't know what my car had for the green white checker, and man, we just came down to that last turn, and I saw an opportunity to go to the bottom, and car had enough to sneak out of P3. I'll take it.
Hey, man, yeah, an awesome job. Kind of talk about the ups and downs, the single file, the side-by-sides, even the 4 wide. You were 4 wide out there. I don't know if you caught that, but you was.
Yeah, they're at the finish line at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a little lane down there on the bottom, and I did see they were already 3 wide, but I had to run, and I figured my car will fit there, so let's go for it. It's the last turn,
Yep.
last trioval.
You got to do what you got to do, man. If you see the opening, you got to take it, right?
Oh, you have to. Before that, though, our team SPR Racing, we had a pretty good plan. We were trying to stick together and kind of save, and we did really good up until the end there. Robbie got kind of caught up in an accident, but Proud of Brandon Sheets and Chris for what they did. Brandon getting the win. That's two races in a row for SPR Racing.
Yep, that's what he was just alluding to. I mean, it's hard enough to get one, but for the team, getting two, that's even harder.
Oh yeah, it feels good. Like I said, I couldn't be more proud of Brandon for what he did today.
Yeah, it was an amazing. Well, we go to Charlotte next week, buddy. We've already been there once this season. Not quite the 200 laps this time around, but still 134 laps. How do you feel about Charlotte?
It's a fun track. I look forward to it. I think we'll do well there, and really just looking forward to getting back in the car again next week. And Charlotte's fun. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring some news to you here tonight. Say hello to your wife because she was in chat the whole night.
Yeah, I definitely want to shout out to her. She was out there talking and chatting away with you guys.
Well, I know you got some final thoughts, shout outs, thanks again you want to give, Keith, before you go celebrate third. And of course, get ready for Charlotte for round 6. So, I'm going to turn the mic over to you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting on such a great broadcast week in, week out. It's great what you guys do, all the people that watch. Definitely want to give a shout out to my teammates. Brandon bringing the win home today, and of course Chris and Robbie, great teammates. We work well together. It's a fun race, and as always, thinking of you, Dave.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think of him week in and week out. We miss him. I don't know if he's tuning in. He may be tuning in. He just might not be talking. So, thoughts and prayers of with Dave and his family, of course. So, Keith, go celebrate, buddy, and we'll see you next week in Charlotte, man.
Yep, see you.
All right. Well, man, what an entertaining race. I mean, it was single file and side by side and 3 wide and 4 wide. I mean, it was calm, and then the storm happened. But hey, it turned out to be a very, very intriguing finish. We're going to get down here to the unofficial results, many of the admin stuff they have to do here tonight, Wheels. So, Brandon Sheets grabbed the win out here tonight. Awesome win by Brandon. Gary Slapinski going to finish in 2nd. Keith Hurlbutt, who we just talked to, actually, going to finish in 3rd. Kevin Roy in 4th. Michael D. Walt 5th. Kyle He 6th. Brandon Hartwell 7th. Chris Paff in 8th, Mark Whitley 9th, and Jeff Gilmore 10th, Clifton Ashley in 11th, Jim Coleman Spurger in 12th, Gomez 13th, Christopher Campbell 14th, Philip Bridgman in 15th, Robbie Stewart in 16th, Robbie Darnell 17th, Mark Emery in 18th, Larry Blair 19th, and Paul Buscohen did not start here tonight. But again, our winner here tonight, Brandon Sheets in the number 2. Will, we seen a lot of single file here tonight. Now, next week at Charlotte, these cars bring out a whole different animal at 1.5 miles. It basically turns 1.5 miles into a super speedway. Charlotte,
Yeah.
we could see it, or we could see separation. We don't know, man. What are your thoughts going into Charlotte?
Well, Charlotte is normally a pretty good track for some good racing in any series. These Gen 7 Cup cars normally pretty good at the 1.5 miles, like you talked about. Charlotte can be a single groove track, but it normally widens throughout the race. We normally get to see racing all over that track in the corners. They kind of be up with the wall, kind of in the middle or the bottom lane. It can widen out throughout the race, like I said. So Charlotte can be almost expect the unexpected in a way. Just because of how the cars can seem to handle from time to time. They can seem kind of just jittery loose from time to time out of the corners. But I expect a pretty good Charlotte race just because of how the cars are and how they handle there. But time will do tell next week. Just have to, hopefully we will be there, tune in, and we'll find out, Josh.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. And, I want to go ahead and give our shout-outs here, too, before we close it out. Of course, Will Roberts, every Sunday night up here with me, if he can make it, of course. Usually he's here, but, Will, again, thank you again for coming out and, calling these races with us. And, you kind of stole my thunder there at the end, but, hey, I don't care. It'll save my voice.
Yeah, sorry, Josh. I just got a bit excited there at the
Hey,
end. You know, it
yeah,
was a pretty good race, how it turned out and everything, and
yeah.
all throughout. I mean, it was a good race in total. So, love to see it next week. Like I said, hopefully brings out the same type of demeanor in a way, as far as being a close finish, at least, hopefully. You know, like I said, Charlotte, you just never kind of know what you're going to get, whether, like you said, it's just going to be just kind of eventually get spaced out, kind of be a normal Charlotte race, or maybe be kind of abnormal and just don't know what to expect
Yeah.
going into it. But yeah, tonight was exciting. It was thrilling. It was fun. We didn't. We had to keep guessing kind of when they were going to pit. Yeah, just we saw a couple of mistakes. I wouldn't say too many huge mistakes, but saw a couple of mistakes that were just, I would say, almost detrimental at times. But uh, for the most part, they somewhat recovered. Others weren't so lucky, but that's just part of racing, Joshua. But yeah, it is always great to be able to call these races with you. Thank you for letting me come join you, and in doing so, I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. And to give a shout out to our fans out there here tonight, Larry Kennedy, Grandpa Kennedy, as we call him. Nikki Horrible Butt out there. Robbie Stewart joined us here at the end. Moose Pie, Tara Paff, of course, Brantley Roden, the sponsor, Harpoon Design as well. So big shout out to Brantley, not only tuning in here tonight, but also sponsoring the series here this evening. Brennan Kennedy, no relation to Grandpa Kennedy that we know of. Daryl Young out there here tonight. Steve Tucker. Let's see here. I know we had a few more that tuned in. Tara was out there. I think I said Tara. We'll say it again just to make sure. My brother was out there here tonight as well. So Moose Pie. And of course, everybody else that tuned in too that was not talking. So, and of course, a big shout out to Robbie Darnell and the admins over here for what they do over at SRU. The season's winding down, but you know, we still have a few more races to go. But that's going to do it here for MaxspeedTV. Until next week, folks, stay safe and thank you all. Same time, same place. 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central, Charlotte Motor Speedway for round number 6. Until then, stay safe. Thank you all again, and have a good night.